For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
well rested, I assure you, and we'll be back, God willing, the 20th of January 2025. Just delivered on that promise. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 24th season of NewsSpin, the world's most monitored talk show, right here on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel and the Power 97.9 FM. We were last on the air live some 39 days ago. So we are back on, and certainly we hope to deliver in terms of having fruitful discussions and discussions that will materialize in the benefits being accrued, because the authorities, they have a responsibility to you as the citizenry to ensure that your quality of life is always at a high standard. And we are here to do the muckraking as well to ensure that St. Lucia becomes a better place to live, to work, to recreate, and just to enjoy life. My name is Timothy Poleon. We'll be together until 2 o'clock this afternoon. The numbers have not changed, so you'll be calling at 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026, 716-2026. I trust that you enjoyed the festive season and you're all set to engage in the hard work that definitely is warranted if you're going to make progress in this country of ours, and by extension, the world. What is of immense concern to us on the island? Those have not changed since our last program on December the 12th of 2024. Accountability on the part of those who are in authority, ensuring that those who are in authority also take us seriously to the extent that they would want to address the issues that are of critical importance to us, those that matter to us, the people of this country. Because for too long, those who are in authority, what they have been doing is taking the lead and just highlighting issues that are of importance to them, and also that could win them support, that could win them votes. And somehow you, the people, you have lost the zeal and desire to ensure that you determine be discussed. What should be given priority? It ought not to be the other way around. It cannot be a case where there's a lack of, according to Machiavelli, the lack of effectual truth. Where politicians, they say one thing, and in terms of the actions, it is the total opposite. And somehow you have allowed this to take reign in our society for much too long, to the extent that for you, it is something that is acceptable, something that should be tolerated. So as we did last year, let me stress again the magnitude of some of the problems that we are experiencing in this country. And for me, among other things, you're talking about inflation, healthcare is a major headache, and you're talking about relentless crime in St. Lucia. Today is the 20th. We already have recorded our third homicide. And the latest victim is a 27-year-old Hank Monrose of Lennings Hill over in Soufrière. He was gunned down last evening, and the police received the report of that incident just after 7 o'clock. A 27-year-old. Let's compare that to Singapore. Because those politicians who are in power, whether they are in Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, or St. Lucia, they act out of convenience. So the National Security Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, just last week, speaking during a press conference, made reference to another Caribbean island and said, imagine, we had 15 homicides the second week or so into the year, and in the case of another Caribbean island, did not identify that island, he said they've already recorded 34 homicides. Of course, he was referencing Jamaica. But for the entire 2024, whole of last year, Singapore recorded 10 homicides. Let me repeat that. Singapore recorded 10 homicides. And our good friend, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, National Security Minister, will speak about Singapore having more resources than St. Lucia, Singapore having the manpower, but Singapore has quality leadership. That's what Singapore has. Because they started with almost nothing, but through the creativity, through the hard work and determination of Lee Kuan Yew, certain sacrifices were made from the word go. Fought corruption. It's not a case of creating this mirage. We're going to fight crime and we're going to have a special prosecutor, and nothing will come out of that. But to win a general election, you will say and do anything. So Singapore, 10 murders for 2024. St. Lucia, officially 77. But we all suspect is a little bit more than 77. Couple people would have been shot and injured, taken to hospital. There's economic growth. And this whole talk about economic growth, does it really filter to the ordinary man in the street? Apart from the era of green gold, the banana industry of the 70s, 80s, and very early 90s, and you had the trickling effect. So the banana farmer got his money, went to the various supermarkets, community grocery shops, etc. And you felt the impact. With regard to tourism, it is not filtering down because a lot of that money does not stay in St. Lucia. The high jobs in the tourism sector goes to foreign nationals. Unfortunately, that is what is happening. And then you have a few sectors that are benefiting. The taxi sector would benefit. Vendors are benefiting. Nature heritage sites, the owners are benefiting, etc. But the lion's share of those funds, they are expatriated. So let's talk about economic growth. Talk to the ordinary man in the street and find out whether he's benefiting from the economic growth that we're talking about. You just have a small number of people who are benefiting. Talk about CIP, basically and directly, a small number of people are benefiting from this. So the Prime Minister, during the course of this year, has to take a hard look at those issues that are directly impacting the people of this country. And definitely, crime is one of those issues. And unfortunately, the way he does, he speaks about crime and inflation, because those are the things that are impacting people directly. He just glosses over them, or he politicizes the whole issue, as it did recently during a town hall Tuesday meeting over in Dennery, when he was speaking about crime. And it's a lot of whataboutism. What about when this party was in office? What about when this guy was prime minister? What about? And all the time using this as a mechanism to distract people. So here is the island's National Security Minister speaking on crime.
From the Castries Basin, I suffer. Castries South, Castries North. But all the naysayers, they do not bring one solution, not one. They do not bring one solution to the table. And I have said to them, I will do anything legally to bring down the rate of crime in St. Lucia, particularly murders. I will do anything. I will work with anybody. We are ready to work to bring down the rate of crime, particularly murders in this country.
Leadership determines the outcome. And the Prime Minister, as far as crime is concerned, as in his capacity as national security, he has definitely displayed the inability to address this particular problem. It is for you, sir, to lead. And I've been saying the rest of the nation will follow. You're no longer the leader of the parliamentary opposition. You're making decisions, and people like to say, why are you blaming the Prime Minister for the crime problem in the country? That is because a lot of decisions that prime ministers take, the national security minister would take, the minister with responsibility for crime prevention, their actions will determine whether we get a handle on this problem. The prime minister, in effect, determines who is St. Lucia's police commissioner. Because as much as it has to go through Public Service Commission, goes through the Governor General, the Prime Minister has to agree. And if the Prime Minister determines he wants to give an individual a 6-month contract, that's what happens. A 2-month contract, that's what happens. 1-year contract, he determines whether that contract should be renewed. Those decisions affect our ability to seriously fight crime in this country. And you could talk about giving the police motorcycles, vehicles, you name it, drones, etc. What about giving the policy direction, providing policy direction to the work of the police in this country and taking those critical decisions? Again, leadership determines the outcome. And if that's the outcome, as far as the number of homicides we're recording in St. Lucia, it says something about the quality of leadership that is being provided by the national security minister. In any private sector job where you're not delivering and you have the stats, you have the evidence that is proving that the quality of leadership that you're providing in a particular area, it's not effective, then you will have to answer to the board of directors, managing director, etc. In the case of St. Lucia, what would happen is an individual who is tasked with a particular assignment would just avoid it and focus on other things, as the government is doing, focusing on economic growth, more visitors to our shores. And every time the Prime Minister speaks on tourism, I cannot help but reminded by that statement, that short-sighted statement that he made a few years ago in that interview, when he said that it's only a certain individual who believe that tourism will come back to the pre-COVID-19 period. And you are the same individual who mounts a platform, convenes press conference after press conference, and talk about economic growth. And you believe that no one should hack back to the period when you made that initially, or that short-sighted statement. I know you can't wait. You want to call as soon as possible. But there are a number of issues that we want to highlight. You heard from the special prosecutor, Mr. Robert Innocent, appointed in November of 2023, because in the run-up to the 2021 general election, corruption, allegations of corruption was definitely in the news and on the platform of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And the SLP gave the impression that it gets into office and automatically certain individuals would be hauled before the courts, they would be found guilty, and they would be taken to bodily. That is the impression that ordinary St. Lucians got. A number of people, they knew better. But take, for example, ordinary folks in various parts of St. Lucia. And in most parts of St. Lucia, you have ordinary folks, whether it's Cap Estate, whether it's Dennery, Ansteray, you name it. Chouzelle. What do we say, Savolet? Acts of corruption. This guy is crooked. This guy is a thief. They've stolen millions of dollars. And we're going to bring in a special prosecutor. And giving the impression, automatically, the special prosecutor will come up, unearth the evidence linked to the alleged wrongdoings of politicians who were in the previous administration. And if you listen carefully to what Mr. Robert Innocent said, he's basically making a plea, a fervent plea, for you, ordinary St. Lucians, to provide him with the evidence, to come forward with the evidence, and to assist him. Not that he will do his due diligence, go through the process, get assistance from public sector officials, including from the office of the Attorney General, and just provide the evidence and, cause something to happen and ensure that people account for the quote-unquote millions of dollars that were stolen. Let us listen to Mr. Robert Innocent.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor, though it must bear the brunt of the burden of investigating and prosecuting corrupt conduct among public officers, would miss the mark if it acts as a lone ranger in search of corrupt conduct by public officers and officials. The office may only initiate an investigation upon credible complaints from those of you who know of a live fire of corrupt conduct, or of one in the process of being lit, or who has knowledge of the arsonist responsible for smoldering corrupt conduct. Unless you share your knowledge with the Office of the Special Prosecutor, you make it more difficult for the anti-corruption efforts of the government to bear tangible and visible fruit.
So the special prosecutor is making reference to credible complaints, not hearsay, not through the whims and fancies of a political opponent who wants to just stoke the passions of individuals who are hell-bent on condemning people on the basis of how they feel, but not on evidence. It appears this is what is happening in this country. People are being convicted in the court of public opinion without any kind of evidence. And the special prosecutor is proving just that. You need credible complaints. You need evidence to prove that this individual or that woman in the previous administration, they were involved in acts of corruption. Let us not allow politicians to mislead us. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. How are you doing, ma'am?
Good afternoon, team. I'm very excited that you're back, so welcome back.
All right, thank you so much. You're looking forward to another season of NewsSpin and going through the comments in the chat room?
Definitely.
All right. And we hope that you folks in the chat room, you will exercise a lot of discretion in terms of what you put there, in terms of your conversations, again, in terms of making allegations that you cannot prove, and the same obtains for those of you who are calling the broadcast via WhatsApp and communicating with us through other avenues. We want to be as responsible as possible, as much as we are going to be fearless. 452-2979. Once again, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. We have our first call in line via WhatsApp. Hello and good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello. Okay, that call is reconnecting. So please continue to call and let me see if I have any messages to go through. Maybe you have some comments in the chat room, Amanda, you might want to go through.
I do have a few, Timothy. I think it's only appropriate if I start by reading the welcome back comments. So someone says, welcome back, Tim, you and your colleague. Another comment, Tim, did you get a PhD during the festive season? Another comment, someone says, I say Christmas not ending for you, Tim. Someone says, Tim came back looking 20 years younger. Another comment, Happy New Year.
And also a foot taller.
I did not notice. Someone says, Happy New Year to all the new spinners. Tim, to be honest with you, I had NewsSpin go well. Thank God you're back. Another comment, someone says, today I have an award for the first hack that comments in the chat room. Another comment reads, welcome back, Tim. Praying that this 24th season of NewsSpin continues to educate, enlighten, and bring in much peace and love. Also, I wanted to wish Joel a happy birthday. How lucky are you to be celebrating your birthday on the same day NewsSpin returns for 2025? Lucky you, girl. And Tim, to start it off with the real deal, someone says, Tim, this government is destroying the country. Another comment reads, with the help of some people. Another comment, can a government made up of criminals be successful in the fight against crime? Another comment reads, free dead, wow. The chat room, someone says, tell PJ Pre the police needs more water skis. Another comment reads, Tim, we have an invisible crime prevention minister. In more comments, it reads, Tim, when a government minister can give instructions to police commissioner to discipline police officers because they express free speech, what do you think will happen? The comment reads, Tim, I heard the Ministry of National Security and Crime Prevention was passed on to Richard Frederick.
Call that point. Let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Okay, I think we have something we might want to, a little issue that we might want to rectify, but continue to call once again at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. It was my error. A little still. Let's see if we have some more comments to go through in the chat room. Amanda?
Another comment reads, Tim, this is your New Year's address. And someone says, for the amount of St. Lucians that have died because of negligence of the governments of health and ministry, I think the whole government is a criminal government.
We have a call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to NewsSpin, your first caller for this year.
Yeah. Right, I was hoping to bat first this year.
Let's see what will happen in terms of your performance based on the quality of the pitch.
Well, I have a lot of runs to make, but I don't want to make it today. I just want to announce it today.
Go right ahead.
Welcome back, Tim. Welcome back. I think not only me, but the whole nation had issues with you not being there, because I tell you, you had a rerun on sometime last week. Mm-hmm. And how many people stopped me telling me, you're not calling. The thing is on that one, but it's a rerun. It's not the real thing. A lot of people got anxiety, I think, throughout that time. But Tim, my aim this year, well, the beginning of this year, because it is really a big joke, okay, taking place right now in government. It is really getting, to a point where it's really a clown thing going on. When you tell me you can beat your hand on the chest with the height of inflation, cost of living, and you want to talk about a little $500 you give people, when you go at mass stores, $500 is like 2 to 3 bags of groceries,
So what did the $500 come from, Kola?
It came from the high taxes, all the high gas prices and everything that they refused to bring down.
Well, my information, sir.
So basically, they didn't.
My information is it came from a particular loan from a particular bank.
Okay.
That's
but
where
it will still
it
be
came
the
from.
same. Yeah, it will still be our money paying back for it.
Yeah.
But Tim, what I want to discuss this the beginning of this year, I will call every time I get a chance to give you at least 10. Okay, when United Workers' Party was in office, they had a list of 200 things that they highlighted that they achieved throughout the time before COVID, really, and a little into COVID. So I will highlight at least 10 of those, if I can, quickly, every time I call. The reason why I'm doing that thing, because the Labour Party came out with a short list saying what they've accomplished for the 3 years. And here's what's one on the thing. When you, how are you calling it when you subsidizing them? Gas, fuel, and gas and those things. When
Subsidies.
I know
Subsidies.
from the time, yes, I've always known government after government to be subsidizing.
Yes.
And for this government to be claiming subsidization on items, it's really a big joke. And the other things that they put in as achievements. So I will highlight those achievements, at least 5 to 10 a day if I can, so that they will see and hear and understand what achievements are and what we are looking as an achievement. Because these were the things that caused the economy to move. These were the things that caused people to work. And when you see black man working, black man spending. And when you see black man spending, everybody eating because the money is circulating. You know? So this will be my thing going forward this year. So I don't want to stay long today. Just want to say welcome back and let's look forward to good things this year.
All right, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much, and all the best to you. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, I have 2 concerns which are spilling over from last year into the new year. One concerns the Lacroix Bardeni Hudson bus drivers. Tim, at the peak hours after work, this bus stop is very poorly serviced. The commuters would get to the bus stand and there are no buses for hours on end. Some would pass already filled with people. The drivers are saying that they are on rotation, that during the peak times in the afternoon, every driver should work, or if not, increase the numbers to properly service the route. I'm now suffering from leg pains because I have to wait so long for a Bardeni bus. I hope the president and executive addresses this issue urgently. We have about 45 buses on the bus stop, I'm told. So why are people getting stranded on the bus stop? Please do better, guys. Demand to call on the mayor of Castries to just walk around Castries to see how the upkeep of the city is really pathetic and untidy. The upkeep is really below par. Garbage and litter is scattered all around, even near tourist sites like Derek Walcott Square. The sidewalks are broken, the slabs over the gutters are loose and a danger to pedestrians. The pedestrian crossings need repainting, particularly on Bridge Street. The stray dog problem is on the rise. In Castries, you have to watch where to walk and you have to look down. Otherwise, you'll surely step in something disgusting on the ground. Constitution Park is just muddy and in a mess. Poor jab, that's a John Memorial statue. The road signs are very few and hardly visible. I'm not even touching the buildings, crazy parking and driving in town. I'm not even touching the niches or the ghetto malls and the so-called vending of rum and weed to minors in Castries. Having said this, I hope the other stakeholders like the police and infrastructure support the mayor in keeping our capital city and commercial hub at a standard we can be proud of. Also, St. Lucians, please keep the city clean. The question we should be asking is whether we have a mayor of Castries, a mayor of the capital. Because it has been months I have not heard from the mayor, almost non-existent. I'm honestly telling you, I don't even know if we have a mayor. I'll not be surprised if I'm told you in the course of this broadcast or later in the week that the position is vacant. And you never miss the well until it runs dry. Whether you like him or not, Peterson Francis was quite visible. He was quite active. He was quite effective. He was on the ball as far as addressing the issues pertaining to his job, and in particular, the city of Castries. As it stands now, nearly everything that was highlighted in this WhatsApp message, one can concur readily. The city is in a mess. It is in a shambolic state. And somehow being nostalgic, I can't help but go back to the era and the period when we had quality representation in the nation's capital. And I'm old school, so I will go back to the period of Sir George William George Mallet. Sir George William Mallet. This individual with the bow tie. And we have a picture there we'll show you. We'll put it on screen so you can see. Those of you who are too young to know who George Mallet is and what he looked like. Later this year will mark the 15th anniversary of his death. And it's not only people like George Mallet. I've often spoken about the late Romanus Lansico. People who are selfless. It's not about them. You hardly hear them making reference to the pronoun I. It's you, and you, and you, and you. So that's the kind of leadership that is lacking in our country in various areas, whether you're talking about in terms of the mayorship and a number of other areas, certainly that is lacking. Let's see if we have some more messages in the chat room that Amanda can go through.
Tim, someone says, so when a particular minister was appearing on his talk show with several so-called documents of acts of corruption, all of a sudden he can't find the office of the special prosecutor to hand over these documents. Another comment reads, hold on eh?
Okay, let me go through a notice in the meantime as you go through some of the comments. Lucelec wishes to advise customers and the public of the early closure of its northern customer service offices in Sans Souci and Rodney Bay, and that is on Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025 at 2 p.m. This closure is necessary to facilitate staff participation in a work activity. The VFO office will remain open to serve customers during normal business hours, and that is from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Customers in the north who wish to make payments during the closure period are kindly advised to access the My Account service at myaccount.lucelec.com, SurePay's online and walking service options, or the financial institutions that offer this service. Customers who wish to conduct business with the company during the closure period, you are advised to use its various remote options to do so, including the virtual service desk on its website at www.lucelec.com. Normal business will resume at the Sans Souci and Rodney Bay office on Thursday, the 23rd of January 2025, and that is from 8 a.m. The management of Lucelec regrets any inconvenience that this early closure may cause. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, after one time is another.
Get ready for the glitz and glamour of the Miss St. Lucia USA Independence Pageant. Join the Fabulous Five: Danielle Allen, Miss Castries South; Cheyenne Smith, Miss Mikud South; Tyler St. Rose, Miss Babodo; Ari Asa Liwa, Miss Castries Central; and Mikhail Williams, Miss Mikud North. Who will be crowned Miss St. Lucia USA Independence Pageant 2025 on Saturday, February 1st from 6 p.m. at the Medgar Evers College Founders Auditorium, 1650 Bedford Avenue, Brooklyn. Tickets $80 US, VIP $120 US, or call 631-275-0508. This event is sponsored by Power 97.9 FM, Four Roots Entertainment, and the Consulate General of St. Lucia, New York. A magical evening awaits. Miss St. Lucia USA Independence Pageant 2025.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucelec's customer service office in Castries is now open for business, but we've moved. We're now located on Daisy Avenue in Sanssouci on the ground floor of the new Lucelec building. We're open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check out our online options first. But if you do need to come in to see us, we'll be pleased to serve you with new connections, bill queries, payments, and other service requests. Lucelec's Sanssouci office, ground floor of the Lucelec building. New location, same great service.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
For it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Ouais, monsieur. Pas jour, dis-moi la KSP plein bon glow. Si t'es la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, mais money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Prendre pompe yo c'est Léo. Pompe ça c'est major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moins actuellement. Glo ka fonte. Europa ni pompe glo Léo under pour les nerfs, joinge et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
Have you been referred by your doctor for an MRI? No need to travel overseas and endure long waits, travel expenses, and uncertainty. Right here in St. Lucia, La Clinique du Corps offers world-class full-body MRI scans with no limitations, using the most advanced MRI machine in the Caribbean to diagnose all types of illnesses with precision, accuracy, and crystal clear head-to-toe images. Get your results within 24 hours, or you can choose our Express Results option to get it sooner. Your health is your wealth. Top quality 3D and 4D ultrasound services are also available. Don't settle for less when the best is right here at La Clinique du Corps in Cocoville, Rodney Bay, and Castries. For better healthcare, call us at 451-6559 to schedule your appointment today.
I've seen you here before, and I have something special just for you. What have we here? Happy housewarming to me? That's the MNC Home Depot Rewards Card. You'll earn points every time you shop, plus exclusive savings and promotions just for you.
Just for me?
Yes, just for you. Shop in store or online and enjoy a seamless experience.
So I get to treat myself every time I shop?
Exactly. It's time to reward yourself.
MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Rewards Card. Sign up and reward yourself today at www.mnchomedepot.com.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Make this Christmas happen for everyone this year with Republic Bank. The finest loans we have to spread the Christmas cheer. With Republic Bank, we can make your dreams come true. Like magic, it will appear. With Republic Bank, make this Christmas happen. With Republic Bank this year. Merry Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
This one will be the biggest ever! It's Legacy 2025, the Independence Edition, featuring two of the Caribbean's greatest icons, the soca queen herself, Alison Hines. Alison Hines! And the region's groovy master, the man with the most groovy hits ever, Rupee! And then the St. Lucian Giants, King Sly. Calypso Legends, Papa Vader, King Ashanti, Robbie, the grand return of Alpha. Legacy 2025 is gonna be amazing! Saturday, February 8th, 8 p.m. at the Pavilion. Limited early bird $100, regular $120. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Wave. Sponsored by KFC, Republic Bank, Massey Stores, IBS Solutions, Climax, Peter Bear, First Citizen, Blow, and the Independence Committee.
Look at people.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's called NewsSpin, and we are live. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message reads, I was at the OKEU hospital visiting my brother who was admitted, and his admission days at the hospital was spent in the hallway. There were no beds, no bed sheets. And as said before, by your followers, this is true. I'm a witness to this issue. Visiting home gave me a bittersweet feeling. The condition of the roads, grocery prices, garbage, gas prices, the condition of the city, which is the port of tourist ships, is in a deplorable condition, and so many other things made me sad. Where are the ministers responsible for these departments? In my opinion, they have to be voted out. We await your calls once again at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, imagine the police commissioner appointed about 2 months ago. The man is already on vacation. We ain't going nowhere. He was appointed not 2 months ago. Not true. He was appointed in September of last year. And his appointment goes up until next month. So he's not appointed just recently. All right, so he's on a 6-month contract as well. Turn my attention now to you, Amanda. What's happening in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says, Peep and his gang are the ones who were accusing Shaf and Guy, so the special prosecutor should demand the evidence from them, not the public. Another comment, when UWP gets back in power, all the monies being wasted for paying special prosecutor should be paid back to our country. The commentary reads, OKEU has been successfully converted by SLP into a walk-in cemetery. Someone said, Lanzi, my favorite politician, I called him Minister of Publicity because he represented all. Party did not matter.
Imagine WhatsApp message. Somebody says, I just saw a punk running wild on Chaussee Road with a distressed tourist in hot pursuit. Things are not getting any better. Any more messages?
Another comment reads, so that's what we are offering tourists when they get off the cruise ships. We know they do not care about the locals, so I won't include them in our conversation. Another comment reads, the team, if you are a clean person, you will be clean wherever you go, wherever you work, that is it. What I'm seeing going on in the city of Castries. Another comment, that's what happens when politicians recycle staff to put in positions. And someone says the city is just like a drug laundering money area now, and with a big billboard picture of a monster. And that's it for now, Tim.
Thank you so much. Some more of your calls once again at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let us take a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, team, and good afternoon, Miss King.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Guy Joseph.
Happy New Year to you, team, and
Same to you,
all
sir.
your listeners, and welcome back. I must tell you, you are truly missed during the time that NewsSpin was not on. And I am sure I am expressing the sentiments of most people in St. Lucia who are avid listeners of NewsSpin. Seems so much has happened over the last few weeks that NewsSpin was not on, but nevertheless, St. Lucia is, I believe, in a lot worse condition than it was when NewsSpin went off for a break. I mean, I got some calls this morning just about the city itself, and what is going on there. And it is appalling that a city that was in a few years ago, and many besides Mr. Francis, when he was the mayor of Castries, and all of a sudden they are beginning to realize, when you have something to compare now, how deplorable, how untidy the city is. And you have to ask yourself, is there a mayor in Castries? Are there persons in charge of what is going on? That our city should be in that mess? Tim, this new year, have you checked the prices in the supermarket?
I'm in the supermarket nearly every weekend, so I'm very much aware.
Tim, it is bad, and I'm wondering, how are people surviving? Does the government think that $500 or $300 for steps can really take care of people for an entire year? I mean, we see what is happening. There are so many questionable things that are happening in this country, but Tim, healthcare remains of primary concern for all of us. And I want to say to St. Lucians, we cannot wait until it is our turn to face the music at our health institutions, to want people to support and to rally with us. Because, Tim, it is bad. Everybody who goes to the hospital have a different experience. An experience that is, heart-wrenching. When you see what people go through. Tim, did you hear that the new CEO of the hospital say, do not come to the hospital unless it is an emergency situation?
But I think he also directed individuals who are suffering with minor ailments to visit the wellness centers, the community wellness centers, and also the Betty Wells Wellness Center.
You know, and I've not tackled the Betty Wells Center, and the Labour Party is making it look like this is something new that they have done. The plan was always to make VH into a modern polyclinic, you know. I mean, we had to do the conversion into a respiratory hospital. And given all that is on the horizon, team, with all this, you know how bad that new flu virus is and what is being said about all of the outbreaks in China. What level of preparation are we seeing in St. Lucia? If we were to be hit with another crisis like we had with COVID, and our healthcare is at the stage that it is now, because team, the CEO of the hospital is basically telling you, self-diagnose, you know. You know how many people feel a little pain in the stomach or in the chest and they think it's gas, and the next thing you know is a heart attack the person is having?
Yeah.
You know how many people have died in St. Lucia like that? So when you feel pain and you have been advised, do not come to the premier health institution in St. Lucia. What you are basically being asked is to self-diagnose yourself. Say it's a gas, because with us in St. Lucia team, almost everything that is wrong we say is a gas. So we go and make some boosty and we drink it or we do something. Are we going backward in time, team? I believe our healthcare has gone so far back that I cannot recall as a child growing up. And the government continues to boast about free healthcare in the health centers. Team, as a child growing up, that was available. All the pregnant women went to clinic at the health centers. They never paid any money. As a child growing up, if whatever pain you had, if you got a cut, if you got a bruise, if you got a fall, and in those days, team, there was a living nurse at the health center. So it's not, the health center didn't have just opening hours, you know. I can speak for the Tiroche Health Center, the Tiroche Castries Health Center. And I remember Nurse Bissett lived at that health center. And it could be whatever time of the night something happened to you. You could have gone and knocked on that door, and she would come out and assist in whatever way that she could. The Labour Party is boasting about what they are doing, free health care for people over 80 years. Tim, that is still not available. And this new year, we are not going to sit by and allow Labour to continue to spread propaganda, to lie to the people of St. Lucia about the present situation and make people believe that everything is okay. Tim, I have been asking, and I want through you to ask the question. Somebody needs to explain to St. Lucia what is universal health care. The government continued, it promised it on its manifesto. I went and I tried to read it and to understand, but it is so vague, Tim. The health plan they have is universal health care, and as vague as it is as bad as health care is in St. Lucia. So, you know, I don't want to dwell on the crime issue, although we've had 2 murders in St. Lucia for this new year. I will tackle that.
It's three homicides, actually.
But Tim,
it's 3, actually it's 3 homicides, not 2.
3?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I was a bit behind on the update. But Tim, it means that nothing has changed. We are going from bad to worse. And the government continues to tell us that there's no need to worry. Tim, there is need to worry about healthcare. There is need to worry about what is happening at our healthcare institutions. And I must mention, Tim, what happened to Skinny, and I said it in the tribute that I gave to him, has been happening to hundreds of other St. Lucians on a daily basis. Tim, going to the hospital is like they give you, you see when school closes in for the summer vacation and they give you a book list for the new year. That is what our hospital has become. It's a book list they are giving you to the hospital of all the things you need to bring. And Tim, I have spoken to doctors at the hospital who describe the hospital as Gaza. And they are saying anything you can do not to report to OKEU, you should not come there. So I well understand what Damien was saying, as the CEO, because he knows that it is better for you not to come to OKEU. It looks like you have a better chance of remaining alive by not going to OKEU. But here we brought in a new CEO, and the new CEO is getting his salary on a monthly basis, but nothing has changed to make life and healthcare better in this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You just heard there from the first deputy political leader of the opposition, UWP, Mr. Guy Joseph. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let me see if I have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says, they welcome back to you both. My winter started the day you went on your deserving leave. While it's out here in the UK today, my summer has returned via NewsSpin. Long live NewsSpin. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon to you and Happy New Year.
Same to you. Amanda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
BP, as of 12:30 this afternoon, I was exhumed.
Explain.
I was buried on the 12th of December, 2024. I came back to life today. Thank you for that.
It's really, we are not taking the contribution that we are making here seriously. I suspect. Are you still there, sir?
I'm there.
Yes. Because, for the number of calls that I received while I was on vacation, what I saw being written on Facebook, people saying that they're suffering with GoPuel and all that, NewsSpin GoPuel. So I have to develop a greater appreciation for the audience. And I don't appreciate you, but it has to be magnified and multiplied because as much as from time to time, as the host of the broadcast, I would be disappointed because I get the impression sometimes that people are not appreciating what we are doing at this time or on the program because they believe we have ulterior motives. On the other hand, I have come to accept that there are some genuine individuals in this country who understand what this broadcast is all about and the purpose that it is serving. Continue, sir.
Yeah, Tim, to many people, locals and in diaspora, they never miss the water until the well runs dry. I got a call last week where a friend of mine, a pastor, called me and told me, I just heard you on one of the replays on NewsSpin. Mm-hmm. And I told him, which episode? And he told me, and I couldn't recall that at all, And, I've made so many contributions to NewsSpin that, you lose track.
Right.
But it was a relief to be away from all the political talks and all these things, the political conversations and things. But at the same time, when 12 o'clock comes and you have nowhere to switch to, the Gaza war is on, Trump re-election is on, that is when you realize how much you miss NewsSpin. You know, there's nothing to turn back to when you just pray. And your birthday was just 2 days after mine, Tim.
Okay.
You know, so I gave you a shout. I don't know if you, there was no response. I don't know if you saw the call.
I must have missed your call.
Yeah. But Tim, all I can say is welcome back. And always put your best foot forward. I look forward to hearing Rick and the other contributors. You know, and don't forget to give a shout out to those who have been missing in action, Tim, those who have gone like Mr. Lubin. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Remember which Lubin I'm talking about?
I know.
The guy,
You always called and spoke about what, Cuba and Venezuela?
Yeah.
And socialism. Yeah.
I-5 from Denry.
Yes.
And those other guys, the NewsSpin stalwarts who have gone on before us. You know, let there be a reminder of those persons. And of course, Mr. Rigobert, I know you'll be hearing from him pretty soon, if he's okay. And keep up the good work.
And of course, Brother
Amanda,
Harris.
Welcome back.
Okay.
And Tim, also extend my greetings to Kimani.
Yes,
when you have them up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
She does monitor the program, no doubt, from wherever she is studying. We have another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you so much.
This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Suppose you're hearing that so often. And good afternoon to Kimani and to all your listeners.
Amanda.
Tim,
Amanda
I
is
hope
in studio.
indulge me for a couple minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
To play political strategy. You know, I listened to our Prime Minister, well, in his capacity as the leader of the political leader of the SLP, at one of the town hall meetings, where he made the statement that they're going to take all 17 seats. You know, and some people have been like anticipating this snap election. But let me say something, Tim. Labour Party is in no position to call any election because they're in trouble. And in spite of what may appear to be the UWP's lack of preparedness, in some people's opinion, one thing we need to be very cognizant of is the trend since 2001 that no political party has won consecutive elections since then. That's one of the trends. But if we look down at the table, you know, you put the game on the table and you look, you'll see that Kenny Anthony and Musa are both seriously considering retirement this year. And especially when it comes to Viewfort North, with his abysmal performance as the parliamentary representative. I mean, you voted for him, although he was from Swazel. He is from Swazel. Because, you know, he was the political leader, the prime minister. But whoever is going to replace him won't have the advantage of that vaunted position. And therefore, the race down there is a very balanced one. It's a tight race in Viewfort South. You go up to Viewfort.
Okay, so Viewfort South, who will be contesting on behalf of the opposition?
Well, the opposition hasn't made a statement yet, so I can't say anything on that.
So therefore,
however,
hold on. So therefore, how can you predict that the opposition has not selected an opponent, chosen an opponent, but you already know the outcome of that contest in Viewfort South?
I said it's going to be tight. That's my prediction. Considering
it really depends on who the opponent is. Anyway, continue.
Not necessarily. If you go back to the trend that I spoke about earlier, it really has very little to do with their candidate. It's not as significant as it has to do with people voting out the government.
Well, I don't think we should be taking the electorate for granted, caller. If you are seriously going to put up a challenge to an incumbent in any constituency, that individual must be on the ground. You need to sell your ideas to the electorate so that they can buy into it. They can basically analyze it and to see whether they can give credence to whatever that you're offering. I don't think we can go on the basis of the fact that a government is unpopular, so therefore automatically, irrespective of which candidate is chosen to contest on behalf of the opposition, that automatically that person will be victorious. But anyway, continue.
We haven't spoken of automatically. We're talking about significant.
Oh, yeah.
In statistics, they're significant, and it's significant, especially considering in Beaufort South, Kenny's chosen successor has been refused by the people, the constituency branch. And there are probably about 4 or 5 people vying to be the candidate, and there's a rift there. There are different factions. And so there are reasons why I'm saying what I'm saying, is because in the past, they've not had that. They've not had this sort of rift because Kenny has been the automatic choice. And this is a new thing for them in, 5 elections or 6 elections? And that's significant. Go to Dennery South, we've got a situation. That's why the Labour Party held its first town hall meeting in Dennery South, because Mr. Prosper he's very, very unpopular in Dennery South. And Dennery South was one of those seats where the margin was below 200 votes. And it has been so for the past 4 or 5 elections. I've heard talk that even maybe Mr. Damien Greaves may be, has been looked at as a possible candidate. But anyway, so that's Dennery South. Of course, Micoud North is a seat where it has been a UWP stronghold until the last election. So one would expect UWP to do well. That's going to be a tight seat as well. And if you go further north, Castries Southeast, we're seeing there's a problem. The incumbent has some serious health problems and is not doing well. So if we looked at what happened for Christmas, Lisa Jiwawa, what's her name? Is that what she called?
Lisa Javayer.
Yeah, she organized, she's campaigning openly, just like in Beaufort. Tricia Lionel was out there handing out hampers, a potential candidate. So there are tons of them around. So these areas are not as settled as we think. Then we go into the Castries Basin. Guy Joseph, like I said, is very good chance of regaining his seat. Go back into the Castries Basin, Central Castries, Castries North, traditional UWP strongholds or UWP seats. There is a lot of talk right now. One, Mr. Richard Frederick, his application to become a member of the Labour Party has still not yet been approved. Stephenson King is the worst, in most people's opinions, is the worst performing Minister of Infrastructure that St. Lucia has had. And it is placing a burden on the Labour Party, where there is a faction of the Labour Party who's saying, why don't we put up SLP, genuine SLP candidates rather than these, name-only independents. And so that too is a difficulty for them. Babono, the lady up in Babono, she's performing abysmally, and the people can't just wait to vote her out. We go down to Canry's Ancillary, and Girard is doing terribly down there. Soufrière, the margin was only 65 votes. Emma has done nothing to impress the people of Soufrière. In Soisel, we've got 2 candidates on the ground for the SLP, both telling the people they will be the candidate. It happened in 2021, where there was Alfonso Centros and Pauline Prosper. Now we have Mervyn Hermé and Pauline Prosper. And there's talk that there's 2 other potential candidates. The division that the 2021 situation caused enabled Bradley Felix to win that seat very comfortably, despite the massive national swing that took place against the UWP. And I see nothing different. They can put both of those guys together. They won't beat Bradley Felix. Okay? So we're talking about 6 or 7 seats, which are now Labour Party, with the exception of course, Bradley's seat. And the Labour Party has no, they're not leading by any significant margins in certain surveys that I am privy to. And so the Labour Party is in no position to call elections because their track record is abysmal. They have no projects of any significance to boast about. The $500 bonus from the Christmas season, that's spent already. And the tokens that there, look at what Richard Frederick's doing. He's all over the place, going with his lives, and he's attacking people over there because he's flustered. This Rush guy seems to be getting under his skin, and he seems to definitely be losing support from his traditional grassroots support. So I don't think the statement made by the Prime Minister has any weight. It's just political rhetoric. It has no substance. It's of no substance. And the Labour Party would have to do a lot about our economy, the crime situation, the healthcare system, the road networking, the corruption alleged in like GPH, CIP, etc., the halls of fame. There is so much that they need to take care of that the Labour Party is running scared, Tim. So it's great to have you back. Let's look forward to those conversations. I'm looking forward to hear them respond to what I've just said. And Tim, thanks for coming back. And tell you what, we've been missing you.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
All right, somebody in the chat room already taking me into task. Somebody says that, Tim, you're reaching because I'm challenging the contributor. Because there's many people who are predicting the outcome of that presidential election over in the United States last November. And see what is happening today. And President-elect is about to take over the reins of power in the United States as Donald Trump. And many people, just before the election, so-called pundits already predicting that it's too close to call and Kamala Harris would win, etc. So let's, as politicians, supporters of political parties, don't count your chicken before they hatch. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. A commercial break is long overdue. Still to come, some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages, along with going through the comments in the chat room.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucelec's remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucelec.com for assistance. Lucelec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
I've seen you here before, and I have something special just for you. What have we here? Happy housewarming to me? That's the MNC Home Depot Rewards Card. You'll earn points every time you shop, plus exclusive savings and promotions just for you.
Just for me?
Yes, just for you. Shop in store or online and enjoy a seamless experience.
So I get to treat myself every time I shop?
Exactly. It's time to reward yourself.
MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Rewards Card. Sign up and reward yourself today at www.mnchomedepot.com.
It is well known by all St. Lucian professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns, all at unbeatable, jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Massat Grosile. Europa, we service what we sell.
Have you been referred by your doctor for an MRI? No need to travel overseas and endure long waits, travel expenses, and uncertainty. Right here in St. Lucia, La Clinique du Corps offers world-class full-body MRI scans with no limitations, using the most advanced MRI machine in the Caribbean to diagnose all types of illnesses with precision, accuracy, and crystal-clear head-to-toe images. Get your results within 24 hours, or you can choose our Express Results option to get it sooner. Your health is your wealth. Top quality 3D and 4D ultrasound services are also available. Don't settle for less when the best is right here at La Clinique du Corps in Cocoville, Rodney Bay, and Castries. For better healthcare, call us at 451-6559 to schedule your appointment today.
Get ready for the glitz and glamour of the Miss St. Lucia USA Independence Pageant. Join the Fabulous Five: Danielle Allen, Miss Castries South; Cheyenne Smith, Miss Mikud South; Tyler St. Rose, Miss Babodo; Ari Asa Liwa, Miss Castries Central; and Mikhail Williams, Miss Mikud North. Who will be crowned Miss St. Lucia USA Independence Pageant 2025 on Saturday, February 1st from 6 p.m. at the Medgar Evers College Founders Auditorium, 1650 Bedford Avenue, Brooklyn. Tickets $80 US, VIP $120 US, or call 631-275-0508. This event is sponsored by Power 97.9 FM, Four Roots Entertainment, and the Consulate General of St. Lucia, New York. A magical evening awaits. Miss St. Lucia USA Independence Pageant 2025.
This one will be the biggest ever! It's Legacy 2025, the Independence Edition, featuring two of the Caribbean's greatest icons, the soca queen herself, Alison Hines. Alison Hines! And the region's groovy master, the man with the most groovy hits ever, Rupee! The St. Lucian Giants, King Sly. Calypso Legends, Papa Vader, King Ashanti, Robbie, the grand return of Alpha. Legacy 2025 is gonna be amazing. Saturday, February 8th, 8 p.m. at the Pavilion. Limited early bird $100, regular $120. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Wave. Sponsored by KFC, Republic Bank, Massey Stores, IBS Solution, Climax, Peter Bear, The Citizen, Blow, and the Independence Committee.
Look at people.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin, and let's turn our attention now to Amanda with what is happening in the chat room. And remember, we are live.
Someone says, don't worry, a little rum, calypso, and the jazz in our tails, and it will be all right in the morning. Someone says, I met a St. Lucian who lives abroad at the supermarket. She told me when she goes back to America, she will not complain about prices. She doesn't know how we are doing it in St. Lucia. The prices are so high at the supermarkets. Another comment, someone says, PJP's government cannot do anything for the country. They are stuck because they lied to get to office, and they are still lying to remain. A NewsSpinner says the government will follow the science and to hell with the people. Another comment reads, I used to love going to the hospital when I was a child. That little pink cough medication used to taste so good. Another comment, someone says, under SLP it's death, I don't care. Another comment reads, the SLP lied to my mother. The SLP lied. My mother just got admitted today. She's 86 years old and they're making us go pay for a test. The comment, health system and healthcare are two different things. Someone says OKEU is a death sentence. Another comment reads, the PJP will not call any elections without completing the old St. Jude's Hospital. NewsSpinner commented, Team Lucians do not vote based on ideas. The past election has proven this. Another comment reads, Team, what about the 45,000 people who are carrying our passports? Will that affect the outcome of the coming election? The chat room, someone says, what do you expect from a UWP? Everything he is saying there is non-essential. Labour has never lost the 2 Vieux-Fort seats and will never. Secondly, Richard Frederick's seat is in his pocket already, plus King. Another comment reads...
Well, the person, correct the person who says that Labour has never lost the 2 Vieux-Fort seats. They have lost the Vieux-Fort South seat on a couple of occasions.
Shazzy typed that, by the way.
Shazzy did that? Yeah, there's Eldridge Stevens who won that seat on behalf of the United Workers' Party. I think it would have been 1982 or thereabout, maybe a little later as well. But Vieux-Fort South has also voted for the United Workers' Party. All right, let's see there. Lucelec wishes to advise customers and the public of the early closure of its northern customer service offices in Sans Souci and Rodney Bay on Wednesday, 22nd January 2025 at 2 p.m. This closure is necessary to facilitate staff participation in a work activity. The Vieux-Fort office will remain open to serve customers during normal business hours, and that is from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Customers in the north who wish to make payments during the closure period are kindly advised to access the My Account service at myaccount.lucelec.com. Short pays online and walk-in service options are the financial institutions that offer this service. Customers who wish to conduct business with the company during the closure period are advised to use its various remote options to do so, including the virtual service desk on its website, www.lucelec.com. Normal business will resume at the Sans Souci and Rodney Bay offices on Thursday, 23rd of January 2025 from 8 a.m. The management of Lucelec regrets any inconvenience this early closure may cause. Notice coming from the St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited. We'll take at least 2 more calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026 and 716-2026. Somebody says there, good morning. We appreciate you being our ears and voices in the diaspora. I depend on NewsSpin, and that person is over in Texas. We have a call. As we say, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Well, looks like I got it too late, Jim.
Rick Wayne, you are on.
Half an hour.
Go ahead. You have a few minutes.
All right. I won't waste too much time saying welcome to you and your sidekick, but welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, Jim, for all of my life, I've been a competitor, whether it's bodybuilding, whether it's doing auditions for records, singing, and so on and so on. And I have never found that you're able to win races by sitting down and creating perfect storms for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Eh?
Dealing with hypotheticals.
I mean, I have a lot of time. I'm a fan of Mr. Heavens. What's his name?
Mr. Jimmy Haynes.
Because, he speaks very well and very articulate, and usually I'm a big fan. But I could not believe this first shot competition. I have to be frank enough and say so. What he painted there was a perfect storm. You know, who was going to be great, who is getting weak, and your question said it all. Asking him how he determined Vieux-Fort was going to be tight when they have no idea who is going up against
whoever is selected to contest the V4 seat for the SLP.
Let alone a campaign. Tim, you bearing time in mind. You win the election.
Hold on, Rick. Also, the last general election, quote unquote, Guy Joseph was not supposed to lose Castries Southeast. No?
Well, of course, nobody expected that.
Right.
But what I want to say is you win elections one way only, Tim. One way. That you have to have the more effective campaign. Now, put that any way you want.
Mm-hmm.
What wins the elections, the more effective campaign. It's not even projects, as we have seen.
Yes, this has been demonstrated.
It's not even how well the government performs, and it should be that, but it's not that. Reality, it's not that.
Because Dr. Kenny Anthony felt that, I've never interviewed him on this issue, but I'm sure he felt that he should not have lost the 2006 general election. He also would have felt he should not have lost the 2016 general election.
Correct.
But he lost. Those things do happen based on the campaign.
I will go so far, Tim. I have a lot of experience in this too. I'll go so far and say, even winning, this is ironic, but even when a government has performed and feels good about it, if it depends on the fact that it has done well, most of its manifesto delivered and so on, if it depends on just that, or for people to take observation of that and note that and elect them, they lose.
Yes.
You have to go out there, even when you have done a great job, and tell it to the people and convince the people and get the people excited and get them wanting more of that. You don't know, sit in your office and say, look, we've done this one, we've done that. And neither do you stop and say, well, so-and-so is 64. Maybe by the time election comes, he'll be dead. Another one is too fat. Or that's ridiculous. The United Workers' Party, I'm dealing strictly with Jimmy's statement, not as a campaigner. So let's get that straight. I'm talking about logic. If the United Workers' Party is in a fight, it had better be taking time off and making that fight its number one priority. You know how many fighters leave their wives and children for weeks at a time or months sometimes to find themselves some other place to concentrate on nothing but training for a fight? That's how it is with every sport, every competitive anything. You have to make it your number one priority. You cannot make a fight your number three priority and to go there with a winning chance. You have to fight as if your life depended on it. And speaking of that, there's a particular minister, I don't want to call his name, but I'm sure everybody knows. Whatever might be said about that guy, he is at it as if his lifeblood depended on his winning.
More so, as if his visa depends on it.
Pardon?
You didn't get that one. As if his visa depends on it.
Very good, very good. You know, all winners, Tim, all winners win. They don't get victory by accident. They have to sacrifice other things for the time of the campaign. You cannot make anything more important than your campaign, and even your campaign has to be properly strategized, properly planned. What you're going to talk about, what is going to be your main subject, and this nonsense of believing you can talk about the cost of living is every election. Somebody is talking about the cost of living, right or wrong?
Yes, they have been.
Everyone. The cost of living, because they go out and take polls and what people talk about. You know, Joe Weider taught me a long time ago that you do not go around the gyms asking people what they would like to read in the magazine. He says your job is to come up with exciting articles that you think up yourself, that you observe for yourself, because what's the point? The guys who will tell you what they'd like to see in the magazine and you go give it to them, they're going to read it? They already know. So it's your job to make the magazine exciting. It's your job to make surprise people, and so on and so on and so on. Nothing in my lifetime of competition has ever allowed me to believe that you win, you come first in an event, when you've been treating the event as if it was the number 3 event in your life. Now,
also, Rick, you must cater for unforeseen circumstances and strategy.
That's what I mean by
strategies, as well as tactics.
But Tim, you don't cater for unforeseen per se. You campaign with the strength and confidence that will excite your people, so your people will join you. People don't follow whimsy people. People follow exciting people. People don't follow funerals with the same excitement they follow singers or entertainers or whatever. People go to funerals because they want to go to funerals to mourn and feel sad together. But if you want to excite people, Tim, make up your mind whether it's a funeral you want to lead or whether it's an entertainment thing you want to lead, and that you don't get the wrong audience. So I do it. I was very, very disappointed and taken aback by this attitude that the most Jimmy offered you there were a perfect storm of things, that the guy in January is this and that person is that and that one is old and that one is that. Man, we better get its ass out there campaigning. There are enough topics going on in the country right now that worry me, regardless of who in office. I look at a number of things, and I wonder if either party can do anything about it. For example, the police force. Do you think it matters who is in office?
It doesn't.
That you have a police force
Rick,
that is useless or in the control?
It has not mattered even during the Sir John Compton period. And that was a period of strong leadership at various levels. Were they talking about the cabinet?
My point is,
were they talking about the private sector?
Same at my age, no matter how fit I am, how good I feel. And like you said a while ago, it was one of the most important points I've heard on healthcare in a long while. What Guy Joseph said there, that very often you think what you have is indigestion, you think what you have is that. And you are supposed to go check those things to make sure that's what it is. But a lot of people don't, and a lot of people die in consequence. So that matter of don't come to the hospital unless it's an emergency, who is declaring the emergency is what's important. That was a hell of a thing to say. But I am worried that we are not going to have a police force in the foreseeable future, that I am worried that ministers of government appear to have more and more control over individuals in the police force. I am worried to death about freedom of speech. I'm worried to death that I can't say what I want, etc. None of these things has anything to do with who is in office. These institutions are in trouble, and they will remain in trouble if they are undermanned, underfinanced, if people don't appreciate them, if people don't stand up and say that's what we want, etc. That has nothing to do with either UWP or Labour. But at the moment right now, I am very concerned that our most important institutions are comatose and will get worse. Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much for your contribution as usual, Rick. Let's see if we have a few comments in the chat room, and then we'll conclude the broadcast with somebody who says, after one time is another.
Tim, in the chat room, someone says, with the level of brainwashed solutions allowing SLP to affect them, I seriously doubt that they have purged themselves from this poison and might allow this poison to affect their decision of them making a wrong one again and putting SLP back. Another comment reads that they are not giving to Bradley enough resources needed to help his constituency so they could win, but the people knows that he is an excellent rep. Another comment, what is the difference between OKEU and VH other than the buildings or locations? The VH problems were never addressed, just moved to the new building. Another comment, Namalco make the Sahara Desert look like an airport runway. Another comment reads, St. Lucians need to take the streets, walk to OKEU to demand for better health care. Too many people are dying. Another comment here reads, Tim, so true, this certain minister going to kill for that visa. And that is it for me, Tim.
Thank you so much. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, though I do not agree with Jimmy, I do agree with Requeen. After a term of Alan Shastney and a term of PJP, a blocker campaign should not determine the election. And I think we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, this swearing in of the new president in the U.S. coincides with Martin Luther King holiday, and it's appalling that the new behavior of the president is not what MLK would like and stand for. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Okay, all right. Let us hear from former Chief Education Officer Dr. Fiona Meyer. And she has a YouTube channel, and from time to time she would be speaking for a few minutes on certain subject areas. I think it was a month ago that she did a piece, made a contribution on titled After One Time. Here's part of it.
The material things, the brand new car, sooner or later will be rusted. The house we worked so hard for and fought over may start falling apart brick by brick and be covered with vines, as we see so many abandoned places. The beauty in our youth that we want to so appreciate and show off, sooner or later, the old age will creep in. The titles that we have, the honorables, the Mr., and all the great things that speak to us and our level of importance in the society, in the world as we know it. Sooner or later, we may be asked to sit at the back. The titles may no longer be relevant, may no longer be remembered, may be quickly forgotten. And somebody may ask, do you not know who this individual is? Somebody might shake their head and say, no, I don't. The level of popularity that we may have enjoyed, national popularity, international popularity, to the point of celebrity status. Yeah. The ones we knew, after one time is another. Our children don't know, and our children's children, our grandchildren will not know the ones that their parents would have known. So that popularity diminishes. So it really, really draws to the conclusion, hey, it's not going to be there forever. After this time, there'll be another. And our significance, our relevance, may not be what we would hope it to be. And so it's not just a sad story. It's just not a sad story, but it is a reminder to us, after one time is another.
All of us ought to take note. It goes for the host of NewsSpin, it goes for the politicians, it goes for the prominent people in our society. After one time is another. I just heard there from Dr. Fiona Meyer, former Chief Education Officer in St. Lucia. That's a broadcast. This has been another edition of the world's most monitored broadcast, most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin, the first one for 2025, as we are into the 24th season of the program. We'll be back, God willing, same time tomorrow afternoon, 12:30, with another edition of NewsSpin. Goodbye.